Thank you for joining us today. I am Ray Gettens, Director of Business Development with the Roswell Financial Group, and with me I have Randy Hine. Our topic today is we're going to talk a little bit about tax and tax efficiency of investments. So before we get started on that, Randy, tell us a little bit about yourself because you are our newest member to the Roswell Financial Group team.
Yeah, thanks, Ray. I just joined Roslo 4 months ago, and 20 years of experience in the financial industry's business. Most of that time is spent with clients and learning about what they're looking for investment-wise and planning-wise, and so it's a great opportunity here.
Thank you. Well, the reason we asked Randy to speak on this, Randy is a CFP, so we're going to pick his brain a little bit about tax efficiency of different types of investments and things for us to look at before year end to hopefully not fall into any tax traps. So, Randy, give us a couple ideas there.
Yeah, so this is the time of year where mutual funds are paying their capital gain distributions, and it's something you want to be really careful about, especially in after-tax money, non-retirement money accounts. And primarily, when a mutual fund pays their capital gain distribution, it becomes taxable to the investor. And ultimately, we want to try to curb that tax element as much as we can. Okay. And there's a couple different strategies to do that.
Well, I know this year, I think a lot of folks are thinking, well, my mutual funds didn't make any money or much money, so I should be off the hook, right?
Theoretically, yes. However, as the portfolio manager makes changes in the mutual funds, buys and sells, as that happens within the funds, it creates gains and losses.
Okay.
And ultimately, if we've had a good run up, as we've had up to this point here, ultimately this fund manager will sell stocks at a gain, and those gains have to be passed along, or most of those gains have to be passed along to the investor. And that's primarily done at the end of the year.
Okay, so if I'm thinking about this right, we saw in March a lot of volatility due to the pandemic. So we had a lot of people get out of the market. So that's going to force the manager to sell, and you're saying recognize some of those gains.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so what can I do about it? So I get out of it, then I mean, but how do I make sure I don't get out of the frying pan and get into the fire?
Yeah, so ultimately the goal here would be to have an idea of what these mutual funds are going to pay out, and you can check that through the websites on different fund sites. The other option is to be able to harvest losses through those downturns that we saw in March. You have the ability for that fund manager or for your portfolio to find losses within other funds, other investments, capture that loss, and be able to offset future capital gains.
All right, so I'm going to ask the obvious loaded question. If I'm not sure, my best bet?
Contact us, right? Contact your financial advisor and talk to him or her about what you should be looking for and what you should be doing.
Randy, thank you. Appreciate you sharing some expertise on taxes and investments.
You bet.
Appreciate the time.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you, sir.